Hello. I recently developed an interest in the 38 short Colt cartridge. I went ahead and purchased a set of Lee reloading dies in 38 short Colt and started to reload using my Lee progressive turret press. And I had mixed results. First of all, I noticed that I was getting bends into the case mouths when I went to charge with a powder die, and I found out that there was some sort of issue with that die in the machining process, the production process, and that it was not square with the case mouth when that case mouth came through the station, and I had to physically align it by hand. I replaced the die with a Lee 380 ACP die, and the problem went away. Now, the issue that I want to address in this particular video is, and that I thought you might be interested in, is how do we adapt the Dillon 650 XL reloading press to load this cartridge. Dillon does not make a caliber change kit for the 38 Colt, and the answer was to adapt parts from other rounds, other cartridges, to make it work. First of all, let's start off with what we will be using today to load these cartridges. We'll be using a combination of Lee reloading dies, CCI 500 small pistol primers, new Starline brass cases in 38 Colt. That's 38 short Colt, obviously, and then red dot powder, simply because I've had a lot of luck with it. And then we're going to use the Dillon 650 XL press, which I have set up on my bench. Okay, another issue that I noted, and it's really a non-issue, is that when I was reloading these cases, when the bullet was being seated, the Lee reloading die set does not include a factory crimp die. It's a 3-die set. The bullet seating die and crimping die caused a little wrinkle in the case, and I'm not sure if it can be seen very clearly here, but there is a wrinkle in the case. And I noticed that when I went to the appropriate factory crimp die, that wrinkle was taken out. Now, I will tell you that the wrinkle is not an issue in chambering. This particular 38 single action revolver, this Cimarron, has a pretty tight tolerance between the rim face and the gun itself, the frame of the gun itself. This is one of the wrinkled cartridges just for testing purposes. You could see that I could place it in. There's a little bit of friction while putting that in, but you can see that it has plenty of clearance even with this tight tolerance. Now, I have another cartridge here that I put through the factory crimp die. It does not have the wrinkle, and you can see that it slides in much easier, and it also has significant clearance, but it actually just drops right out of the cylinder. Now, the 38 short Colt is an interesting round, and the purpose of this video is not to extol all the virtues, but just in comparison, this is a 38 special round. I am using the 100 grain hard lead wad cutter. This is a double base wad cutter from Penn Bullet here in Western Pennsylvania. It's a great company. I get great service from Rob Palermo over there at Penn Bullet. Shout out to him. Okay, so how did I adapt my Dillon 650 XL press to accommodate 38 short Colt? Well, first of all, I used the 38 special bushing, the red bushing that goes into the case feed mechanism. This is a 45 ACP bushing that the case tube feed fits in, and the 38 special 357 one allowed 2 cases to feed at the same time, and that was a problem. This corrected that error. I have the 38 357 bushing, case feed bushing, the metal part in the press. For decapping and resizing, I have the 38 special. Actually, in this case, the 38 special will work. I'm using the Lee 38 short Colt resizing die that was supplied. I had a problem with the powder die from Lee as provided, and that was because the flaring mechanism, the flaring piece in the die, just wasn't ending up square, and I'm not sure if it was because of the die itself or because of something internal that the flange was not allowing that to be square. So I replaced it with a 380 ACP flaring and powder flow through powder die. I like the Lee drum powder charger. It's really accurate. I'm using a flake powder in red dot to load these rounds, and so it's not one of the easiest powders to meter, and this charging mechanism, the Lee auto drum, works just great. No complaints whatsoever. Very consistent powder charges. I have the Dillon Precision powder check die in place with an alarm. I'm using the 9mm bullet seating die in this case, and I have the 380 ACP factory crimp die. So what we're going to do, I have my small pistol primers in place. Let's just take 10, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's take 10 cases. I don't use the automatic case feed mechanism with my Dillon 650 just because I have lack of space here above the unit. But there are 10 cases there, and I'm going to just run these through. Let's see if we can get a better shot of this. Let's just do it this way. Now I checked to make sure that the powder charge was correct, and it is. And there is our powder check mechanism. You can see that it is working. We place the bullet. Count to 10. And there we have 10 rounds, 38 short Colt. I'm using 2.5 grains of red dot in these. As I mentioned, the 100 grain double base wad cutters from Penn Bullet. And I noticed that if I started off with the 2 grain red dot load, that I was getting a bit of blowback around the case. The cases were dirty, telling me that the pressure wasn't high enough. And right at about 2.5, that went away. And then I'm going to post another video when the weather clears and when I can get out to the range, and we'll take an accuracy check on these. Thanks very much for watching, and please like and share if this video is helpful to you, and thanks for joining in and watching.